Pushing all the buttons until I get the audio to come on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, CaptainShack here. I'm looking pretty good today, gotta say. In my fancy armor that I picked up last night. CaptainShack, you're welcome to a very different stream. Shack? Skyrim mods? What the hell are you doing? This isn't Fallout. This isn't all those other games that you guys are always telling me to play. No, it's not. Today we're doing something very different. Today we are playing... We are gonna go over my 70 top Skyrim mods. Because, well, I've been playing a lot of Skyrim on my off time. You guys haven't seen it on the channel. What happened was, me and Tabby, earlier in the week, into last week, we got sick. And in our, like, I can barely talk, my throat hurts, we, for whatever reason, decided to mod the crap out of Skyrim, get back into it for a bit. Now, long ago, in a time all lost and forgotten, I used to actually spotlight a few Skyrim mods that, actually one of the places where my channel started, that just weren't getting a lot of attention from the YouTube community, really. The tiny mods, the little mods. I mean, we have Brodual and we had Gopher at the time, but they couldn't do every mod that was coming out. So I used to spotlight a few of these, and I've decided, because a lot of people love to mod their game till it breaks, that I would show off and talk about some of the best mods that are out there. For me personally, these are the ones that I love, that will give you solid FPS, the game will run good, and it'll look good. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Indeed. That's a lot of mods. It's a good amount of mods, but when I go through it, you'll see that a lot of these mods, like, I'm going to leave Fraps open. Bottom left-hand corner of the screen, you guys can see my FPS. As I take the tour of this, you'll see that it rarely dips down below 50, and only in those areas that are known in Skyrim to be just kind of slow. One of them being, well, like Whiterun is a good example. Or coming out of Riverwood into Whiterun. When you first load up both those cells, everybody sees an FPS drop there. There's a couple other areas like that, but you won't see solid 60 FPS 90% of the time. Pretty fantastic. So, what got me back into Skyrim, just to run you guys through it, the big thing was a lot of my favorite mods have been updated. A lot of my favorite mods have been updated, and recently too. Frostfall recently got an update. TK Dodge came out of nowhere and got an update, which is a mod that I used to play with like 2.5 years ago. And out of nowhere, the guy's like, oh, hey, I updated this mod if anybody cares. It's like, that's my favorite mod ever. Oh, yeah. Now, sadly, I do have some bad news for all you guys who love modding Skyrim. The multiplayer mod that was in the works, it was looking really good. I mean, we were almost playable with it. It was looking so good. Sadly, the lead developer for that one, and that is Tamriel Online. That's the one, right? I get them confused. Was it Skyrim Online? The one that Brodual just did a video on about 2 months ago. 3 months ago, actually, they did a video on it. The lead developer has disappeared. He is not logged. From what I could read in the comments section, he hasn't logged into Reddit or he hasn't logged into the Nexus in like 3 months. He just dropped off the face of the earth, and with him went the code for the multiplayer. Now, hopefully he's fine. Maybe he got a job somewhere and he just can't talk about it or something like that. You know, hopefully it's a good thing for him, but sadly for us Skyrim players, multiplayer is now on hold. There is another group that has started up based on that team, I guess, and they've got some really impressive people working on a new multiplayer mod called Skyrim Together. That was about 4 days ago. They announced that they're working on it. They've got some pretty professional people. They've actually got a Bethesda employee working on his off time to work on it. I don't know if he's still employed with Bethesda. They've also got some networking specialists with a really impressive resume on what he's been doing. But anywho, let's get into the mods. Holy crap, Shack. Stop yapping and let's talk mods. I think I need more coffee. Coffee. All right. So you'll notice my game looks different. Now, I'm going to warn you guys, you're watching this, not only are you watching this from YouTube compression, right, which is already going to kick the crap out of how the game looks, but you're also watching it as in a stream, or the VOD from the stream. And it's not nearly as high quality as me just recording 1920 by 1080 60 FPS footage and uploading it to YouTube. So you're seeing hella compression, you're seeing colors off, everything's going to probably look a little warmer, a little probably yellower, and just downright not as good. So bear in mind, we're losing about 20% quality on this from what you're seeing. But it looks damn good. So let's get through the mods. I've got a nice list here on my secondary screen, my other computer. We're going to run through it. Now I'm running on a GTX 970. I got 16 gigs of RAM, and I'm running an I'm running an i7, actually. This is the computer with the i7 in it. So it's a relatively decent rig. It's pretty good. It's not a 980 Ti or anything like that. And if I had one, I'd probably push this even farther. But for me, stability was most important. So let's go through the graphics mods first. We're going to go through this in categories. Graphics first. Then we're going to talk about combat, which the combat that I have set up is hardcore, and it's so much fun, especially with the new TK Dodge update. We've also got the gameplay enhancements, the immersion mods, and then finally the quality of life, and then the straight-up gear, like the bandolier that you see me wearing. So we're going to go through all that stuff and explore a little bit of the world and get in a little bit of combat. And expect me to die, because I have the combat on here fairly difficult. I actually had to remove a mod because it was too strong, too difficult. Okay, so let's put my sword away, and let's go through some graphics mods. Yeah? Where's Jack? Jack, my horse. There he is. We're at my house, by the way. This is the Riverwood Lodge. This is from the not Frostfall. This is from the Hearthstone expansion. I've actually been building this. It's pretty early days, though. I'm about 25 hours in, so, bear that in mind. My chat. I can't see my chat anymore. It's like moving around too much. For some reason, Skyrim with my mouse, it likes to scroll my windows in the background, including my chat. So now I have to fix everything. There we go. Cool. It's a ton of, people are like, you have how much in there? Bear in mind that Skyrim doesn't use all your RAM. I mean, look, I'm using 38% of my RAM right now and 26% of my CPU. And, we're not doing anything too strenuous. There's my horse. Let's get into those graphics mods, though. Starting out with, what do I have on the list? Most of this is in, ABC order, but we're going to just look at the 2K texture pack. So 2K texture pack, the complete pack. If you just look up 2K textures, you'll find it on the list. I will put all the links to these mods in the description once this video has gone live. I've got to go through and collect them all. Do you hear me give Shack stream life? Yeah, we got plenty of people coming in. But yeah, the texture pack is replacing, if you don't know, and it's pretty obvious, it's replacing all the ground textures, all the rock textures, the textures for this stuff, everything, to be a higher res. And within the artistic vision of Bethesda. So we can walk through and just kind of look at the world. That's what we'll do. We'll take a little tour through the world. So, of course, we've got this nice big texture pack. That's probably what's going to take the longest to download when you do this. I went with the 2K. I believe there's a 4K rendition of it. Seriously, I've never found this, and I live right next door to it. What is it? But the rock textures, everything's so pretty. So pretty. Now, on top of that, the other retexture mods that we've got the aMidianBorn textures, which, if I have any of my other armor on me, aMidianBorn has a complete retexture of all the classic armors. Let's go look at Lydia. She's inside my house. But they're a little bit darker. They're a little bit more realistic. They've got scratches and dents and nicks in them that you can actually see. They look fantastic. Now, he's actually come out with a armor pack, which is what he's always had, the Book of Silence. Then he's got the creatures and the weapon packs that retexture. Let me see, do I have any weapons on me that are vanilla? This is all the vanilla weapons, by the way. Yeah, like the diminishing bow here. If you can see it underneath the effect. It's a little hard to see with under the effect. Let's go inside. Take a poke around. But it makes all the vanilla weapons look absolutely gorgeous.
Looks like it's about to get rough in here.
You just need to calm down. You need to calm down, Gull. Where are you at? There you are. Always drinking. Let me turn my light on. Bloop. It's real bright.
Watch over your battles, friend.
But you can see just the detail in the armor is so much better. This is a must-have mod no matter what kind of game I'm playing,
Yes.
what kind of character I'm making. This texture pack, everything he's done. aMidianBorn, totally worth it. Next one we're gonna look at, because we're gonna go through these texture mods real fast, because they're kind of boring. Because a lot of old school modders are gonna be like, I know about all this, Shaq. I've been playing this game for so many years. I know about these mods. So I'm gonna run through these quick. The next texture redone is the quality world map. This one is one of the first mods to come out for Skyrim, and it looks gorgeous. There's a bunch of options for it when you go to install it. What it does is it just makes the world map look better, and it gives you options to turn off the cloud layer. It lets you add in all the roads, so you can see all the little side roads, or maybe you just want the main roads. Maybe you want the HD clouds flowing over it. I don't like the clouds myself. I want to be able to see what the world looks like without it. So there you go. Quality world map. Looking at my character's beautiful mug, which you can't see because I've got my lantern on. It's super, super bright in here. I haven't gotten all my lighting in here. Whee! Let's get in front of this. And maybe take off my hat. That might be a good idea. Let's take off the cloak, which is this witch plate hood. We'll talk about that armor mod in a moment. I'm warming up next to the fire. That's actually one of the Frostfall additions. Let's go in here. I can see better. No, let's go outside. As long as it's still daylight. Well, the next one we're going to talk about is HD beards. There's a lot of mods, graphic mods, that change female models and female skin textures. But for males, it's okay. It's not nearly as great. But this one I highly recommend. HD beards. Whoops. As far as I can zoom in. HD beards. You can see my beard looks a little bit fuller. You can actually see the individual strands compared to the hair, especially. Like the hair looks pretty solid, and that's an HD hair pack that I'm using. But HD beards is what you're seeing there, and HD eyebrows, just called brows, makes a whole lot of difference with your character's look. On top of that, you can throw in the HD eyes, which is called something different. Let me see. It's farther down. Eyes of Beauty, that's what it's called, for player. And I didn't do them for all the NPCs. They do have that option, but I went with just the player one because I'm not going to look at the NPC's eyes all that often. And you know what? Mine can be the nicest. I like my character looking good. So there you go. Beard. This is a HD skin texture as well. Let me see what that one's called. That one's called Sky Sight Skins 4K and 2K Male. Now, if you've got a nice graphics card, you can throw in all the 4K textures. They do make a difference. I'm rocking mostly 2Ks in this just to keep that FPS up there and keep the game running stable. Is the stream lagging a little bit? Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not. I am streaming this at 1920 by 1080, 60 FPS, and that can give me some issues, so. Scroll this over. All right. So getting into the rest of the HD packs, you got to have the HD Dragon Replacer. That's going to allow you to have some beautiful looking dragons. It's Belliachi's. Look up Belliachi's animal and creature packs. It'll make all the creatures look better, including this cow. He's actually textured differently. And he's got a ton of customization options for the individual textures. Right? So you can change how the cows look and the wolves look and the bears look and your saber cats and the deer, everything. And then you can choose which one of the multiple selection he's made, or you can use the one that he has that's like his default favorites. I recommend his default favorites. I think he nailed it just about. I think the only one that I might change is the wolf one, because he's got a nice variety of the wolves. Let's head on inside. Now, if you're wondering about the lighting in this that I'm using is a mix. Also, the sky is a retextured sky pack. That would be Sky Gazer Moons Ultra 4K. And, this one's great. Sadly, there's a bit of a cloud layer. There you go. You can kind of see see if I can get around this. Oh, shit, don't kill yourself. You can kind of see, there you go, one of the moons. I don't remember the lore name for the two moons, but it's a 4K, and I recommend downloading the 4K one. It won't hurt your system all that much, unless you're really hurting for FPS. But it makes the sky look absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's Sky Gazer Moons Ultra 4K. And you mix this one with another mod I'm going to talk about later, which is called Wonders of Weather. And you'll get these meteorites that'll occasionally go across, and they'll actually be based on, I don't know, the astronomical signs in the game, or the month or something like that. And you can change it all in the MCM menu, which we'll talk about that in a second. I just want to get through all the textures, because the textures are kind of the most boring, but then they make the game look so good. You just got to talk about them a little bit. All right. And blocked. Dropping the ban hammer. Do not spam the chat. So, moving on, we've got one mod. It's goofy, and there's, let's see, you might be able to do it in the sand. I think it's a footprint mod. It's actually called Footprints. Yeah, it doesn't work in the sand. It does work in ice, though, where you'll actually be able to see your footprints when you're walking around in the snow. And that one's a fun one, especially if you're doing Frostfall. I don't have Wet and Cold installed, though I recommend it. It allows you to see your breath. It'll actually make it so your character will get wet, which I have that for my character, but I believe it makes it so all characters can actually get wet, and you'll see ice form on them when it gets real cold. Now I'm drenched, and you should see the dripping off me. Yep, there you go. Very nice, very nice. That's part of Frostfall, which we'll talk about in a minute. High-resolution road signs is one that I think I can show you guys. We'll walk through Riften, or Riverwood. That's what we'll walk through. Take a little tour. Go into first-person mode here. Ooh, lightning bugs. I'm playing as a kind of like a paladin-esque character with a bit of alchemy, so I'm trying to collect as much stuff as I can. Why not? Go for a walk. Whoop. So, we're talking about lighting. Let me pull out my torch here. Two of the mods that I highly recommend is one, the increase in lighting for torches, which is actually called, I don't have this under graphics, I think I have it under quality of life. Let me see if I find it here. So many mods. It is called Realistic Water. No. Realistic Water is another mod that we're using out there for the water. There's a few water mods that... Look out, bunny! Look out! That you can grab to make your water look good. Because if you don't mod your water... Oh, shit. Let's jump down here. If you don't mod your water, it looks like some nasty-ass giant saliva. It's real bad. It's like this plain texture. So get a water mod. They don't hurt your FPS too much. I've never had an issue with them, but this rig, even my old rig, never had an issue with any of them. What am I using? I'm using Realistic Water 2. Another great one is Purity. Purity actually has a weather mod now attached to it, I believe. That was one of the updates that it's gotten. So if you're looking for a water mod, grab one of those two. There's another one. I used to use it back in the day. I can't think of the name of it. Maybe one of you guys can remember. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, well. Anyways, this one right here is Realistic Water 2. I really like this one. Purity does a lot of fun stuff with the waterfalls. And it does some stuff with the lighting. That's why I didn't use it, because it does lighting stuff, which I'm using Climates of Tamriel for lighting and weather. And Climates of Tamriel, oh my goodness, that's one of the best mods. If you don't know on that one, it changes the weather in every single way, in great ways. And it's compatible with Frostfall, which is a hyperthermia survival mod. That means you actually have to dress warmly, and we'll test out some of the functionality of that in the camping mod in a bit. But what I wanted to come down here for is to show off the realistic lighting. I'm using enhanced lights and effects, actually. Realistic lighting is another mod that allowed the game to actually use lighting within the world. It's kind of like an EMB without having an EMB. EMBs are super overhauled lighting injectors that will crush your FPS. Now, there are some that aren't nearly as bad as others. I, for one, though, when I want that smooth 60 FPS, I'll go with something like realistic lighting, which makes light sources actually cast light properly. There's a lot in Skyrim that don't automatically, so you're going to want to get something that can fix that. Realistic lighting will indeed do that for you. Should show us stuff in the daytime. I would, but we're talking about lighting right now, and I'm hoping we see some of the falling stars, because they look really cool. But they're pretty rare, so you don't see them all the time. I've only caught a few of them. Now, one thing you might be hearing, and I hope I got the volume loud enough, but I've kind of got it cranked, and it's still really low, is some of the sound mods that I've got. So throughout this video, you're going to hear a lot of different sounds, immersive sounds that make sense, like wolves howling, if you just heard that. I'll try to be quiet for a second. Or in towns, you'll hear a lot of background noise, cats meowing and whatnot. That's the immersive sounds mod. There's 3 versions of it. There's a dungeon one, a city one, and a wilds one. Let's see if I can turn it up for you guys. And now all will stop. You can hear owls in the background, so hopefully it's loud enough you guys can hear it. There's like owls in the background, and you can hear the chirping of bugs, and you can hear all kinds of cool stuff that just kind of brings you into the world just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Now, another mod that I recommend that you're probably not seeing, and we should probably be in a dungeon to show off, which we will go into a dungeon later, is removing of interior fog. In normal Skyrim, inside dungeons especially, there's this weird white fog everywhere. It's really frustrating. All right, then. That's really frustrating because it kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't look good. Well, there's a mod that just removes that completely and makes the game look much better. Let's fast travel to someplace more interesting, someplace with a little bit of lighting that we can show off. Let's go to the towers over here. Yeah, the normal lighting in Skyrim is just bad. You either got to use an EMB, this is what Original is saying, and either an EMB or realistic lighting or whatever you're using, but you got to change it because it's not good. It's really not good. Let's wait a couple of hours, get the sunrise around 6 a.m. There we go. And this is running without an EMB, so it's not affecting my FPS at all. God, I love realistic. Or not realistic lighting. This is enhanced lights and effects mixed with climates of Tamriel will change your lighting as well. And if you're looking for a really hard playthrough, a really hardcore playthrough like what I'm doing, then... What the world? Oh, I walked past a fireplace and he's trying to warm up. Then you could install the darker, really dark night times. So you're going to want to use something like the torch enhancement mod, which will allow the torch to go out farther, the lighting range for it. Or what I recommend, because, you know, if you're playing like me, you like to use a shield, you're not going to want to use a torch. Use the equipable lanterns mod, which if I have it equipped, I don't actually have mine equipped. So we'll go to my Q menu here. Travel lantern. There it is. It's on my back. This will allow you to walk around with a light source, an immersive light source that makes sense. And you can put it on any side of you. I've got it on my back right, but using the MCM menu, you can actually change it to wherever you want. And this is equipable lanterns, by the way. Let's see here. Or wearable lanterns, excuse me. Wearable lanterns. You can change what portion it's hanging off your belt. You can also change the brightness and radius of it, which I think is fantastic depending on what darkness level you're using, or if you're using an EMB or whatever you're using for your lighting, you're going to want to customize it for you. In dungeons, this is fantastic for being able to fight with a shield or a spell out so you can heal yourself and not have to use that torch because you can't see anything. Probably one of the only ways to do it. All right. Now, talking about stability, I didn't mention this before. I've only had a couple of crashes, and each one of those crashes was when I was testing another mod. Immediately, I had to remove the mod because I want a fully stable game. So outside of that, I haven't had any crashes, with one exception. When I have alt-tabbed multiple times, like reading a website for a mod on the Nexus or whatever, and come back to it after I've alt-tabbed maybe 6 or 7 times, that's when I've had a crash. And I've only had that happen maybe twice in about 25 hours in so far playing this, with Tabby playing on her computer next to me. So, Skyrim versus Dragon Age Inquisition, Codebreaker says. Very different style of game. They really are. What kind of character am I playing? Well, I'm kind of going for this, like, paladin style one-handed sword user. So I swap between a shield, which sadly I recently sold my shield on accident. Or I put it in a chest somewhere. I don't know what I did with it for this video. Who's got a little bit into archery. I'll show you guys my skill set, and if you're interested. Because a lot of my mods will wrap around the idea of my character when I start planning a playthrough. I do a lot of prep work first. Okay, what mods do I want? Well, what kind of character do I want to make? It's going to be a stealth character. I'm going to grab a lot of stealth mods, like stealth tools, which gives you arrows that can put out fires. And it gives you just all kinds of new things, like rope arrows and... the ability to get behind people and slit their throats, things like that. If I want to make an assassin, I'm going to use those kind of mods. Well, for this one, I'm playing as a heavy armored paladin character with a lot into block and a lot into heavy armor. Now, a lot of my mods are based around this idea, so I got mods that will add different types of armor in. So what you're seeing right here is immersive armor. I'm wearing the... Which one is this? Immersive armor is a great collection of armors that are put into the game that just fit naturally within the game. There's also immersive weapons from the same mod author. This is the Witchplate gauntlets and just the whole Witchplate set. And if I put on the helmet again, you guys can see it. The fine hood. There we go. Looking pretty good. The bandolier that you see across my chest is actually from Bandelier's Bags and Pouches, I believe the mod is called. Link will be in the description below after this. You can make these with leather and whatever other resources that they require. We'll keep walking through. And we'll turn off that lantern. We don't actually need that. It's a beautiful day out today. I'm running through these in a random order, just about, because we keep coming into different, like, how they interact. But yeah, going for like a paladin sword-esque character. I actually recently installed the backpack mod here because I thought it would match the character. What you're seeing, going back to the visual mods and going through this list, you notice the arrows. The arrows are actually different on my back than they normally would be. This is the slanted arrows. Let me see, what's it called? It's called belt-fastened quivers. Now, the reason I love this is because if you're using Frostfall, another big mod for survival and immersion, it's going to give you backpacks. Sadly, the backpacks will be in the way of the arrows where they normally go, which is straight down the center line of the character's back. So you're going to want to get these belt-fastened quivers so they look more natural. And I'll show you the animation. I actually just pulled the arrow out. It kind of comes off my back still. So sadly, the animation doesn't match, but it looks good. Even when you're in the combat stance for the animation, it looks fine. And then when you draw, it looks pretty good. Now, this animation you're seeing is going to be a little different than yours because I'm using a archery overhaul. Let's get down to the combat mods so we can talk about, well, really what's changed with combat, because that's gonna give you an idea of what kind of playthrough these mods will give you and why I wanted to get back into Skyrim so badly when TK Dodge got an update. Let's switch back to my sword. So, combat mods. Pull up my list for the combat mods. First mod, the reason that I started playing again was TK Dodge got an update. TK Dodge is a mod that does exactly what it sounds like it does. It allows you to dodge out of the way of attacks. We need to find something to fight. We need to find something to punch in the face. And I can show you exactly what this does. What's a good place to go? Someplace that's not going to get me straight up ganked in 2 seconds. Let's go to Fort Greymore. I recently killed all the bandits there, so we're not going to want to go there. We need to get into a fight with somebody. I just killed them at that fort. So let's just go. Fuck it, let's just go into Whiterun. I'm going to pop a guard in the face. And we'll fight a guard. They'll have enough armor that they can take a few hits. XPS skeletons. Now, I'm kind of avoiding some of the animation mods for this playthrough because I don't know. I actually like the one-handed animation. It's okay. If I was playing like a wizard, I would change out to an FNIS pack that would change the animation so you don't look like you've got back problems using a staff as a weapon as a wizard. It just looks strange. Let's go punch somebody in the face. Sadly, I don't have my shield with me. Yes. Come here, fight me. Fight me! Oh, shit. Okay, well, damn. You're not a guard. I need to find somebody that's got some health. But TK Dodge allows you to dodge. So, I have a macro set. Here we go. I have a macro set on my key, on my mouse, one of my mouse buttons. I can dodge to the left, I can dodge to the right, I can do a back dodge, and then I can do a forward roll. And I've got my ward there. Well, my right click. So, what's fantastic about this is if you mix it with the commit mod, and there's a great video over for Brodual, on Brodual's channel, that'll explain exactly what these mods do in a more concise way. But the commit mod, in normal Skyrim, characters are able to swing at something, right? And they can turn while they do it, and they're like heat-seeking. When they start to turn, they'll turn at a target and they'll hit you. So even if you're trying to dodge, there's a good chance that the AI will be able to just turn around you and still hit you with that power swing as it's coming down, because they're able to turn during it. Well, if you have the commit mod installed, you have to commit to your attacks. That means I'm going to try to turn, and notice how slow I turn when I commit to a swing. That means I've actually got to really, like, okay, I'm going to hit him. I'm gonna run up to this guy, and I'm going to freaking slap him in the face. Jesus, these arrows. Dup, dup, up. And the AI will do the same thing. They have to commit to their swing. So if you have the dodge mod installed, get the fuck out of here, dude. Didn't dodge that. Oh! You can see the dodge mod. Oh, shit. Didn't dodge the right way there. Come here. No, 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 no. I'm gonna die. I have a bunch of, I'll talk about the combat mods in a second on why this is a lot more harder. A lot harder than it normally is. Oy. There we go. I'm gonna get nailed with an arrow, aren't I? Yep. I got nailed with an arrow. Notice my health is going down? That's part of the archery overhaul that I'm gonna talk about. The gameplay overhaul. Black, I got shot in the face. The Conjuration School is the best one for you. It depends on what perk overhaul you're using as well. That's going to change Magic in a big way. It's going to change the entire game in a big way. But so that was the beginning of the combat overhaul for me for Skyrim when installing mods. TK Dodge, very simple, but just it adds so much to it. Add in the attack commit mod, which means you have to commit to your swings, and they have to as well. I mean, you'll be able to dodge out of the way when that big hammer comes down, from a forward attack, or you can dip out from behind them. And getting just whiffed by a heavy attack is so much fun, especially when you install a mod like Automatic Spells Increase Spawns, ACES. ACES and Combat Evolved are two that I really enjoy. Deadly Combat's another good one, but we're going to talk about ACES and Combat Evolved. Combat Evolved, let's go back to Whiterun again. Combat Evolved makes the AI, and so does ACES, makes the AI smarter, especially Combat Evolved. They'll make them block when they need to block. It'll make them, ACES makes them use potions. They'll actually have perks that the player can have, so the player doesn't become this overpowered mess at level 30. If you played Skyrim, you know what I'm talking about. At vanilla level 30, and I'm just walking through whacking the crap out of people, it's a non-issue, playing on Legendary practically. Well, if you have ACES installed, they'll use potions now, for one thing. Yeah, the AI doesn't use potions automatically. They'll also get, if you can mess around with the increased spawns, it's all in the MCN menu, so you can make the game harder that way. And they'll have the perks from player classes. They'll also use more of the spells in the game than just the small collection that the normal AI uses. Alright, so ACES already makes them harder. Add in Combat Evolved, which is a light script-free combat mod that's just, all it does is increase the difficulty of how the AI plays against the player in a tactical sense. When they block, when they dodge, when they try to do a light attack versus a heavy attack. They watch what the player does, and they try to decide what's the best way to engage them. I'm going to engage this guy again. Wish I had a shield. I need to kill you so I can take your shield for the next fight. So, I just stunned him with a heavy attack, because I timed it right. I didn't dodge that in time. There we go. There's the whiff. Come on, man. Nope. Alright, good. There's a shield for me. Here comes those arrows. So let me grab this guy's shield up. But you saw how I was like, I'm trying to dodge, I'm trying to duck. I'm trying to actually have some skill, because in normal Skyrim... Ow, you just shot me in the ass. Really, dude? In normal Skyrim, it's basically button spamming. Ow. Come on, dude. Come at me. Come at me, bro. Ate it. Now, there's more going on than just those two combat mods there. You probably noticed me not holding my block. Well, I was probably holding it a little too much. I'm trying to time my blocks. And that brings us to the big overhaul mod that I'm using. This is 70 mods installed. So the big overhaul mod, and this is the one that I highly recommend. There's a few overhaul mods. The one that we're going to talk about, though, is the Ordinator. Ordinator is a total revamp of the perk system in Skyrim that'll change how you play the game. And what it aims to do is, in normal Skyrim, when you go down, like, let's say the enchanting tree, what it gives you is mostly, in vanilla Skyrim, just percent-based upgrades, right? It will be 20% better, it will be 5% better, it'll have better whatever. It'll just be percent-based. It won't be gameplay-enhancing things other than just numbers. In Ordinator, every one of these blocks, what he's really tried to do, except for maybe the really basic first one, is give the game new mechanics. So actually, blocking is my favorite one, and that kind of pertains to this character. Alright, so blocking. Instead of just, you block 20% more damage, yes, that's the first two, but after you get past those first two, you're going to get into stuff that have mechanics behind them, like timed blocking. You block 40% more damage within 1 second of raising your shield or weapon. This has a 3-second cooldown if you fail to block an attack during this time. So, skilled gameplay of waiting for the enemy to come at you and do that attack and then bounce up your shield and block it just in the nick of time, which will block most of the damage, and you can put multiple points in this to make it better and better. That adds just that one more layer of what you're thinking about during combat. Then, as you go down the tree, after a successful time blocking an attack during the time block period, your attacks are more powerful against this attacker for 5 seconds. Especially with my one-handed sword, which has its own mechanics, through its skill points, where if I hit a heavy attack and then a light attack, I'll do more damage. I'm trying to do these like combos while timing it, while using dodge to get my stamina up there. You get this really deep combat system that is a stupid amount of fun. And this is just blocking and one-handed weapons. We haven't even looked at like the light armor trees, where the light armor has its own deals, or the heavy armor, which is what I'm working on, where if I can dodge enough enemy attacks, especially heavy attacks, and the enemy is tired from those heavy attacks, they'll have trouble breaking through my heavy armor, meaning I'll take less damage. So there might be, just sitting there trying to dodge the enemy's attack for a couple of seconds at the beginning of a fight might be a good strategy for me to make sure they don't do too much damage. Ah, what the shit? Seriously, dude? I'm in the middle of something here, man. Can't you tell? Come on. Come on, bro. Block. That was a timed block. Whoop. There we go. So let's see if I missed any of the combat mods. Now, one thing that I didn't realize, don't be an ass like me when installing the Combat Evolved mod. Read the description at the beginning, and remember, it's okay to turn your difficulty down at the beginning of the game. He actually recommends you do so because it's so much harder. Hey guys, welcome to the stream. He highly recommends you turn the difficulty down at the beginning of the game because it is so much harder. I like refused to turn it down, and I kept dying, and I was like, no, I can do this. And a lot of fights, I'm like that. I'll die a couple of times, and I'll say, no, I can just do it better. I can suck less and do better and win this. And the feeling when you actually accomplish a boss fight, like the last one I did with a Dragon Priest, is fantastic. I mean, the rush I had when I fought the first Dragon Priest in this was way better than the first time I fought in this game. Basically, my two companions, we're gonna walk up to Windhelm, I think. My two companions got. He's got maybe a quarter of his health left. I've got no health potions left. I'm hurting. He's gonna kill me. I'm using a pillar for cover, and then I realize, all right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to run in. I'm going to do a power attack. I'm going to take him down. Or he's going to blast me with this lightning bolt and I'm dead, right? So I take off. I get my stamina back a little bit. I take off running toward him. I see he's charging the electric attack. And at the last second, I know I'm not going to make the hit. So I do a left dodge. The bolt goes right over my character's shoulder. And then I do the power attack and I bring him down. And I had died like 4 times before this. And it was just beautiful. It was so much fun. And that's what the difficulty combat mods do for you. They make the fights just engaging, really engaging. So, if anything, do your research in the combat mods. Combat Evolved I highly recommend. Aces I recommend. TK Dodge and Commit, 100% must-haves. Those two, if you like the dodging, do it. So I think that's all the combat mods, really. I mean, except for the archery overhaul, which is, I guess it's a combat overhaul. It's a complete system overhaul, which we'll talk about now. Let's go into the mod manager. Some of the mods and combat mods that I've been talking about do have mod manager MCM menus. You can change the key that you use to dodge. Right now I have it on a shortcut key, and I also have it on double tap the direction you're moving, WASD. You can also do combat mod. Where are you? Does combat mod not have one? I thought it did. It may not. Yeah, it may not. Asus does, though. And you can actually, if you're feeling real badass, or maybe you want a difficulty increase that involves more enemies, and maybe not so much in the way of how much damage they do, but just the amount of them, you can totally do that. You can also randomize the spawns, and how often NPCs use potions, which I have them turned off for some reason at the moment. Now, the archery gameplay overhaul is one that I really recommend. So does Brodual. They've talked about it multiple times on their channel. There are some really cool systems in this. Arrow removal. Arrows will get stuck in you and enemies, and they will not just disappear. You'll actually have to pull them out. And when you're hit with an arrow, this is currently on in my game, you will bleed. And when you hit an enemy with an arrow, they will bleed for a few seconds, and it gives you the stats there. Also, balance your own game. You can change all these stats. Persistent arrows. You can turn them on and off if you don't like them. You can change the bash. I'm not using the fancy bash where you like stab people with an arrow because I think the animation's a little wonky. One thing that I do love about this is that, and I think I have one on me, you can get magic arrows, but they do it in a really fun way. There's a lot of mods that make magic arrows, but in this one, they don't make the arrows themselves enchanted because that's really frustrating from a gameplay perspective. You have to constantly make these arrows and find them, and It's just a pain in the ass. So what they do is, and I guess I don't have it on me. Damn, I guess I don't. All right, well, I had a ring, and what it does is the game adds in, that mod, the archery overhaul, adds in a ring that will attach a magic property to the arrow when you draw it. And that's how it works. And you recharge the ring, I believe, with soul gems. It's a very smooth system for archery, for adding magic to archery outside of just the bow enchantment. And it'll give the effect. So the one I had was like an electric ring, and it made electric arrows. You can imagine fire arrows will be able to light your potions on fire, your oil, and all that on fire, which is pretty legit. Let's go inside. We're going to look at one of my companions and talk about some more of the gameplay enhancements and immersion mods. And look at some of the setup, the graphics. Oh, shit! I forgot I pissed off the guards. Oh, no. We may have to reload. Come on, man. I just love the dodge. The dodge adds so much to the game. Come on. What are you gonna do? You gotta die. That's what you gotta do. Brah. Oh, I missed him. He just sidestepped me. Did you see that? There we go. I got an arrow in my shoulder. Now, that will fade away because I have the persistent arrows turned off. The one issue that I have with the persistent arrows for the archery overhaul is that the mage spell that gives you the icicles, the ice crystals, will stay also in you, and they're humongous, and it makes your character look ridiculous. All right, boys. Oh, one big change. You'll notice they're not lining up to fight me like normal Skyrim, and that's because of combat, the Combat Evolved mod. Oh, God, what are you doing? That I was talking about earlier. No, you don't. Oh, shit. They'll come at you. They will team up on you. They will flank you. Mages will sit in the back because their AI is way better now. I'm gonna die. I am so screwed. Whoa, boys. Come on now. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about it? Whoa! Oh, God. I have health potions, but I think we're just gonna fight this to the end. See if I can win it. No! Oh, my face. Oh. He used one of the finisher move animations, which I forgot to turn off. You gotta turn those off, and I have a mod that lets you customize all the death mod animations. That way they don't get free kills like that. Oh, good stuff. That was fun. Okay, so let's go back into Whiterun. This time without being hostile to everything and everyone. We'll just load right into the city. And we'll look at the a couple of the companion mod that I'm using that I really enjoy, and some of the gameplay enhancements and immersion mods. Q-Master, I'm a huge Gopher fan. Huge Gopher fan. I've been watching his stuff since he first started his channel, and he was doing New Vegas mods. Like, when he was doing the early ones, it was like how to install, and they weren't really full-on spotlights so much as like technical manuals. And he had that horrible microphone in a tin can. It was great. Hello, Miko. So I love the idea of the man and his dog survival gameplay. You know, from the early days of Fallout up until now. Now, Miko, if you recognize the name, is a companion automatically in Skyrim. You can find. He does not look like this. Hey, George, I'm trying to find the name of the Miko mod, because I've kind of gone out of order here. Some of the things I've run into. We did all the combat mods, but we are going to talk about the Ordinator some more, because there's so many cool things about that mod. It changes the game how you play it. And I don't know where it is. Oh, it's because I didn't scroll down to the second page. Here we go. Here we go. So there's two mods running on with him. We've got the Hush Doggy mod, which, if you notice, he's not barking his head off. And it's not even playing the animation. Now, there's a couple mods that make the dogs not be super, super annoying in this. Because in vanilla, they just bark all the time. Even when you're stealthing, they're screaming in your ear. So Hush Doggy changes it so the animation doesn't play, and he only barks rarely. He still barks, but he barks rarely, and it's not super loud and annoying like it normally is. The other mod that I'm using is the Miko overhaul. Just look up Miko in the description after this goes live. I will have a link to the mod. It has like 7 different versions of him. Tabby's version, because she ran into him too, and now she has him as a companion, he's missing a leg. It's so sad, but it's so cool because they replaced the leg with a Dwarmer like piston like leg arm thing. It's pretty cool. There's a bunch of different versions for almost any character you can think of. I thought like a paladin-esque character would have some type of white, almost wolf-looking companion. So he's been hanging out here for me though. I told him to stay here. Which, speaking of companions, one thing I gotta recommend at this difficulty level, it's gonna be good to have a companion overhaul mod. You know what? It's good to have one anyways. And the one that I recommend is UFO. Ultimate Follower Overhaul. I'm just reading the chat real quick. What it allows you to do is have multiple companions for one thing. It gives you an immersive way to interact with said companions. Shit, where is Gull? Gull's back at the house, isn't he?
I work with my
of course
mother,
he is.
so
Let's go back to the house real fast. Normally when I play, I have fast travel disabled and I don't use it, but for the purposes of this video, we're gonna just jump all over the world. UFO has a ton of features. I recommend you look it up on the actual Nexus page to read through everything. For me, though, it allows me to manage my followers easier. It allows me to choose where they hang out. You can tell them to relax in an area, like I have here with Gull. He's hanging out probably upstairs again. I just told him to relax in this house, and all he seems to like to do is sit up here and drink. But he'll actually walk around the house a bit. He'll sit in the chairs. He'll read the books. He'll make food. He'll just do his sandbox thing, which is pretty nice. Let me talk to him. What the mod adds, UFO, is this You Know button. You can click it, and then let's say time to go. Now he's my companion again.
What is it?
You know, and it does it in a very immersive way. There's like 4 other companion overhaul mods that change how you can control them. This one's the most immersive in my experience. Speaking of magic, and I can tell him to stop using the spell tomes that he knows because I want him to use his sword if he keeps, really irritatingly use that one spell I hate that he shoots me in the back with. Had a companion doing that. You can tell him to dress better and he'll equip the best armor he has on him. You can tell him to avoid combat and just follow you around. You can even switch out his invincibility or not. Everyone dies, so we can tell him everyone dies. He's no longer invincible. He can die in combat. Or I could tell him you're important, and now he'll be set to unkillable, and he'll just kind of do that go down state that you're used to. Also, you can do one other really cool thing. There's the relax for a while he'll walk around. You can turn him off on if you accidentally hit him, or if another NPC hits him that's supposed to be friendly. Normally, a companion will freak the fuck out and go and kill that companion or whoever's doing it, or you if you accidentally hit him, especially for a mage when you're doing fire spells. You'll accidentally hit your companions, they'll freak out and come at you. You can make it so he just forgives and forgets, which is what I have turned on here. All right, and I can change how he evolves. So stick close to me and avoid combat. Actually, no. You know what? I want you to be in combat. You're heavily armed and armored, and you can fight now. Get in there. Kick the crap out of people, dude. Somebody's talking about the werewolf overhaul mod. Yep, if you're going to do a werewolf playthrough, there's an overhaul for it that you just have to get. Same thing with the vampire mod. There's a great vampire mod that gives you a whole skill tree as a vampire and has different ways of progressing as a vampire, which is pretty legit. But if we're going to talk about followers, we got to talk about horses. And this is a well-known mod that... Let's go under the MCM menu real quick. That I think everybody has checked out if you've been modding. Convenient Horses allows you to... It just makes horses in every way so much better. From the ability to put stuff on them, like they have a backpack on them, like in their saddle, to change out the type of armor your horse is wearing. Convenient Horses is the mod. The mod. Like, check out his armor. This is Jack. What's up, man? We can jump on him. It also allows your companions to mount up. I need to give you a saddle. I need to switch that out. But yeah, your companions can mount up. They'll follow you around. You can change their settings, so if you want them to stay on their horse while you dismount, you can. It'll give you a hotkey for dismounting for combat action. Like that, because if you guys know, especially with hardcore mods on, for combat, you can die in the time it takes you to get off your horse. So being able to just pop off for combat purposes is really useful. UFO does also one thing that I really enjoy. It's rebalanced and made the mounted combat work, and in a great way. I love mounted combat. This is sword combat. I can swap out to my bow. I can rock my bow in combat. Pull that back out. There we go. Shoot my arrows. If you've got the immersive first-person mod like I do, see, you can actually ride in first person. You can't normally do that in Skyrim. You can pull out your bow, load arrows, and actually shoot them in this mode, which is kind of nice. You only get about a 45-degree aiming angle, and you do control the horse the direction you look. But you can use the arrow keys to kind of change the direction of the horse while you fire in a different direction. It's just so much nicer. This is the way you can fight fight a dragon. Like, your first dragon fight on mounted, if you can get down the mounted combat, good times. Good times. And you're, in the latest update, which was actually quite a while ago, I think, companions can fight mounted as well, and they do a pretty decent job. The other thing it allows you to do is, let's wait till daytime, so you guys can see better. I know that YouTube lighting is a pain in the ass. You can hit people with your horse. You can ram them like a war horse and send them flying, or stun them so you can get off and, you know, finish the job. All these options are toggleable or balanceable in the MCN menu. Just remember, when it comes to Skyrim modding, balance your own game, right? Play it the way you want to play it. Change the mods how you want them to be changed, especially the MCN menu. If it's too hard, don't feel bad about it, just change it. If it's too easy, mod the ever-living crap out of it and make it hardcore if you want that dragon, that Dark Souls-esque vibe to it. Now, you notice there's no UI on my HUD. These are well-known mods. This is iHUD from Gopher. Oops, didn't need that. Where I can turn my UI on and off. It'll fade in and out based on what I need, so my health and my compass will change. Oh, Mary, these bastards. Hate these guys. Should totally kill them and rescue that Nord. Or Breton, whatever the hell he is. Hey guys, how's it going? You can tell their armor is a different color. That's actually the retexture from, oh good god, what's his name? aMidianBorn. Probably one of my favorites. Oh yeah, 16 is well more than enough RAM for this game. Okay. So let's talk about equipment real quick. As you probably noticed, I'm wearing a lot of gear. And if you haven't played Skyrim in a while, maybe it didn't click, but I've got my sword on my hip. I've got my bow on my back. Like, that right there is something you can't do in Skyrim. You can't have multiple weapons equipped like that. I need a heavy weapon. Hey.
We've stopped.
Gold deer, give me your, give me your stuff. Where did you just go?
What do you need to take?
What do you need to take? I need to take your dwarven battle axe that I gave you. Thank you, sir. I need to show something. I'll give it back, I promise, I promise. So, let's equip that sword. I want to show it on my back. I don't want to actually have it equipped. I just want people to be able to see it, because that's a weapon I have in my inventory that I use, right? Well, in normal Skyrim, it would just disappear when you switch weapons. And then, when you holster it, the only thing showing is the weapon you have in your hands equipped. So, let's favorite this, and notice my back is a freaking mess of stuff right now, but I do have that giant axe equipped, even though I've got my bow as my actual equipped weapon. That's the equipment overhaul mod. One of the best additions to Skyrim for somebody who wants to just look like a walking badass. You can show everything, but I believe you can't show a shield on your back. No, you can't show a shield on your back in this mod, and I don't know if the dual wielding shows up or not. Let's find out. I don't think dual wielding shows up. Yeah, dual wielding doesn't show up. Because if we actually pull them out, unless you have them in your main. But weapons on your back, and you can have multiple weapons, so you can have like a staff back there and a giant axe back there, and you can have your sword on your hip and your bow on your back and a knife on your belt, and just look like a walking tank of doom. We're gonna actually take that axe off, because that's just terrible. There's already enough crap back there that I've got going on. Everything is on my back right now. Yeah, no, Skyrim should run fine with, what is that, a 960? Just being, bear in mind that you can mod this game to the point that no graphics card could run it, even, dual SLI Titans. If you install certain EMBs or certain texture packs. You can overload your hard drive so it can't pull the textures fast enough. So keep everything within reason. That's why I'm really happy with these 70 mods. They run 60 FPS with no crashes, 25 hours in. It's been great. So we were talking about gear. I do have bandoliers, bags, and pouches. It's craftable armor. We'll go back to Whiterun now that I'm not hostile and I've showed you guys what I wanted to show you. If you're using some hardcore mods that change like carry weight, or maybe you just want more carry weight and you don't want to enchant your armor with carry weight, you can get bandoliers, bags, and pouches, which allows you to make a whole bunch of really kick-ass little pieces that you can put on your armor. Like those two pouches I got on my belt, maybe the one going across my chest. Not quite sure how I feel about that one yet, but that's the great thing about it. You can customize it. You can change how your character looks and increase what he can carry. They even come in multiple colors. So you've got like the black ones, like the Dark Brotherhood. There's actually a Dark Brotherhood bandolier that goes over your shoulder that has their handprint. There's a lot of leather ones, like classic leather colored. There are, for a mage-like character, there's vial holders if you're making an alchemist or a mage, which is pretty cool. I would have liked to have seen maybe a spellbook one with a spellbook hanging off you, or scrolls, but yeah, this is a great mod, and it uses leather to make all this stuff, leather pouches, leather strips. Some of them take, I think, a couple pieces of iron here and there, but they're fairly easy to make. Immersive way to increase your carry capacity and look really, really cool. Oh yeah. I dig it. The gear that I'm wearing, I said was immersive armors. Immersive armors and weapons. It's a nice collection of armors that, there's like 20 sets of armor in there for just about any type of character you can think of, from a mage to a ranger, hunter-like character, to the classic paladin. Just some real more basic ones that you'll see on bandits out there that just fit with the world. All right, I'm just reading through the chat real quick. Now the backpack that I'm wearing, the backpack is Frank Dema Travel Backpack. It's an older mod, and he's got two different versions of it. One that's closer to the chest, or to the back, like this one is, and one that's farther away. I assume for cloaks, though they do have some clipping issues. I think it looks really good for a warrior-like traveling character. Like this guy. I dig this one. Frostfall also has its own backpacks, which I don't have on me, but I can show in the crafting menu. I am going to list all the mods and the load order in the description after this stream is over. All right, let's see here. Where is that backpack? There you go, fur backpack. And there's a variety of different types. Basically, what are they? The necklaces that you can get in the game. You can actually build backpacks using those necklaces that have been enchanted with a certain enchantment that'll show up on the backpack. See if I can show it. Okay, it's not coming up when I typed in backpack. But it'll give you that bonus, and you don't have to wear the necklace. You can swap it out for another one, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. Let's get to some combat and talk about the Ordinator, which is the giant perk overhaul, and what really makes this playthrough a blast for me. First, let's go into skills though and look through it. I was talking about how Ordinator changes up the game in almost every conceivable way. It's a total perk overhaul that makes, it makes all the spell schools really useful, and in completely different ways, because each one of these perks, for most of these trees, actually about all these trees, change a game mechanic, or it adds a game mechanic on top of what you're used to. So let's go look at the destruction tree, because I haven't actually looked through these. I knew I was making a melee character. Destruction magic, 35% less magicka. All right, that's pretty normal. But once you get past the first point or star in the tree for all these trees, it opens up so many more cool things. Let's see, elemental spell costs 30% less magic and cast 10% more powerful in favorable weather. There's a lot of caveats like that too. It's like, if this is met, you'll be able to do this really cool thing, allowing you to customize yourself, your character in some neat way. Combustion. Fire spells and effects cast on others are up to 30% more powerful based on the target's missing health percentage. So maybe you want to get his health down first, or maybe the more damage you do, the faster they die. So fire damage is kind of building up over time Dual casting a fire spell reduces fire resistance of the target for 10%. Again, another one on a theme of fire damage seems to do more damage the more you can hit them with it. What's this one? Dual casting fire spells ignite the ground underneath the target. The fire burns for 30 seconds. All right, that's freaking cool. So not only are you doing more damage over time, but if you continue to go down the fire tree, you can even ignite the ground itself and do area of effect damage. Which, if you're fighting a group of enemies that are coming at you, that could be a really fun strategy to like ignite the ground behind you as you run and allow them to catch on fire. That's cool. What else do we got? Dual casting fire spells burns corpses to a cinder. This fire burns for 30 seconds, dealing 50 points of fire damage per second. Okay, so your buddy, one of the enemies die, and you can use it as kind of like a mine, it sounds like. But this is just one example of how each one of these trees aren't just, oh, yay, you're doing lightning damage. It's the exact same as fire with a different animation. No, there's actually going to be a difference in how you use those spells. Merciless Cold. Frost spells and effects cast on others are more powerful, based on their stamina this time. Frost Fall. Dual cast frost spells chill targets, reducing their attack damage. So, where this one will just do more damage over time, looks like Ice is going to be about reducing the enemy's ability to do damage to you. This will reduce their health and stamina. All right. They can faint if you freeze them. It's kind of like a more of a control. Ice is more about controlling the fight. Battle Mage. So there's even perks to make a specific Battle Mage or a sword and magic user. Restoration has a lot more in turning the undead and making like just all kinds of cool undead stuff at the very end of it. Let's see. Overflowing Cup. Receiving a healing spell or effect when you are already at full health fortifies your health by 50 for 20 seconds. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff here where you could actually be a restoration mage and focus on it. For me, though, it's the combat stuff that got my attention for melee battles. The blocking and timing fights. How heavy armor works. When you get farther into the heavy armor tree, you can actually go for a very big, heavily armored, scary dude who literally, if you just walk toward the enemy, you have a chance of scaring them because you're this walking massive tank that can kick the shit out of anything in his way. And enemies will freak out and run away if you just walk toward them. I think it's one of the really high abilities, though. You've got to you got to get in there and earn that one. Iron Maiden Unbreakable also, that's one of the shield abilities. Here we go, shield abilities. Shields, if you can just focus on shields, something that I'm going to be doing, to get one of the high-end ones, which is this unstoppable, where is it? Here we go, Unstoppable Force, able to sprint with a shield raised. This knocks enemies in your path off their feet, costing 10 points of stamina per second. Enemies can only be affected once every 10 seconds, so you can't spam it. But you can charge into a fight and knock those bastards down as a shield-swinging, paladin-esque character. Very cool. And it goes through the entire tree like this. Let's get into some fighting. And show these mods off in their entirety. Actually, I really enjoyed fighting the guards here, just because they're right here, and I don't have to look for bandits. Keep it clean. We will ban you. I just dropped the ban hammer on somebody. Let's go piss off an NPC. The Archer Overhaul, one thing that it does that I do like, that I didn't mention, was when you draw your bow back, you start to shake if you hold it, and the longer you hold it, the more you'll shake. And it can take... I've got a lot of stamina, though, so I don't think it's going to be going down too fast. But it's a neat effect. It definitely is. Let's get into a fight. I have a dagger equipped. What in the world is going on here? Where are all the guards? Hello? Guards? Where are you? Oh, here's a mod that I totally forgot about, that I don't have on my list. So, when I play pretty hardcore. I like food mods where you have to actually eat, your character needs to sleep. But I don't like using anything too complicated or too heavy. The alchemy mod that I'm using actually has a food system built into it that's very light. Basically, it just gives you some negative effects if you don't eat within a certain amount of time per day. And you just, eat a carrot, eat some food that's in your backpack, you're good to go. I also play, though, in the most immersive way possible, which is turning off fast travel. But I do like to get between cities quickly if, say, I'm just trying to do some maintenance or whatever. I just need to get someplace. I want an immersive way of doing it. So I've got the Better Carriages and Ships mod installed, which will allow you to travel between towns using, like, we can go up to, let's go to Riverwood. But you notice that list was a hell of a lot longer than the normal carriage list. Also, there are ships spread around the map that can fast travel you to different ports. So it's just a nice way of getting around the world without constantly relying on just auto travel. Am I uploading anything else today? No, but I will be uploading a video tomorrow morning, which is going to be rendering after this is over. I did some homeworld. Anyone here still play Oblivion? Oh, I haven't played Oblivion in so long. So long. Hey, boys! How's it going? Let's start some shit. Use that dodge mod. Let's try to do it with a bow and arrow. I haven't used my arrows much. Whoa! Hit the shield. That's the combat overhaul. He knows to strike. I can't defend myself when I'm pulling an arrow back. Now I can cancel the attack. Ow, shit. I can cancel the attack with a dodge. If I really need to. Whoa! Whoa, hi guys! Whoop! I think my companion's dead. Yeah, my companion's down. I'm gonna die. I pissed off everybody. Ah! Run away! You guys want to talk about it? There we go. Ah! Run away! Oh, the dodging is so much better. Ow. Ow. Now what we can do is, let's go in here. I turned this down for the video, but we can turn it back up. Oh god, my face. Oh, there goes half my health. Ow, ow, ow. Run! Come on, who's next? Oh, and I'm dead. Oh, good times. But there you go, guys. If anything, it's the combat mods that really make it a ton of fun. I don't know if you like hardcore mods. If not, you can play normal vanilla, throw in the Ordinator, which will change all your perk trees to make it feel like a fresh experience, and really balance the game in a much better way. And then throw in TK Dodge and Commit, and it will play pseudo-vanilla. You may even want to turn the difficulty up in that mode, but it'll make the combat a little bit more engaging, a little bit more fun. Indeed. All right, guys. That's going to be... Actually, you know what? I think I will upload one more video today, if I can get it rendered. Do you have any questions about my playthrough right here, my mods that I've got installed? I'm going to be posting my load order and the mods that I have, and the links to said mods. I've got to go through and collect them all. So here's your chance, guys. Feel free to ask any questions that I may have missed, because there's a lot of content here, and a lot of mods installed. Give the chat a chance to catch up. That YouTube delay. Thank you, Alex. What's your favorite quest mod? That's a hard one. Elsewhere is a cool one. Is a really cool one, especially if you're playing as a Khajiit, because you get to see the Khajiit homeworld. Nation. Country, whatever you want to call it. You actually get to see it, and it's so different. It's so different than normal Skyrim, because Skyrim is very, it's cold tundra, And you always feel like no matter what place you are here in Skyrim, it's freaking cold. Well, if you go to elsewhere, it's like rainforesty and deserty, and it's just such a difference. Yes, XCOM is planned. We're just waiting for the release of the game. Have I played ESO? I played during the beta, and I wasn't super impressed. A lot of the group mechanics were just broken. Like sharing quests and getting through quests together just didn't work. I have a GTX 970. Are there any sci-fi mods for Skyrim? There probably are, but when it comes to Skyrim, I'm very focused on keeping it lore-friendly. Django, it takes incredible amounts of work and coffee. You should do a roleplay series on Skyrim. I don't think anybody would watch it. There's so many other Let's Players in Skyrim. Everybody and his mother has done a Skyrim Let's Play. And it is kind of like my game that I go to play and relax, you know? I have seen episode 7 and I love it. I heard ESO is now buy to play. Why use Ordinator and not Perma? I like Ordinator specifically because it's super lightweight. You know, it doesn't run any scripts or anything like that wreck your game. It seems to work just so smoothly. And then it balances so well with other mods. Like, it just plays really well with other mods. And the fact that it changes out the just straight up stat bonuses for game mechanics that you have to think about when you make a character, like I was using as an example of the blocking mechanic, or like Conjuration is a tree that has a lot of really cool, like, go out and find the bone altars, and if you have the certain bones from a human corpse, you can actually raise skeletal warriors and become this, like, necromancer, or not, and you can focus on the other summoning trees that are in this. And look at how many, just so many cool things here, and each one of them change how you play your character. There's one for the thief tree that's like its own little quest to go find these relics that it puts them in. If you take the perk, it puts relics in the game to go find and steal. I think it's pickpocket. No, pickpocket has trained rabbits that you can send out to find you loose, valuable items. Rabbits, guys. Freaking rabbits. Lockpicking. I think it's lockpicking that has it. Yeah, lockpicking would make more sense. The Game of Fate. There are 5 dragons of fate hidden in random locations in Skyrim. It literally adds a quest. Go find these things. They're worth a shit ton of money. Like, how cool is that? Very cool. Let's see if I missed some questions here. Shack, why don't you go fight another guard? Okay. Let's not do dual wielding, though. Let's do drop this. But no, like, the big thing, for people wondering, that's not what I wanted to do. The big thing for me was just it has to run well. It has to be 60 FPS. It needs to be stable for the entire playthrough. I don't want to have any crashing issues. So that was like a big thing for choosing these mods. Oh, a mod that I'm missing that I didn't talk about, actually. Let's turn on my UI real quick. Top left-hand corner, anybody who's played Dark Souls will probably recognize it. This is the Dark Souls quick menu for swapping gear and equipment. Now, I've got these mapped to my mouse, so I can hot swap all kinds of gear. My left hand, I don't have my heavy splint shield on me right now, so it tells me I don't. My right hand, so I can swap out to my bow. I can swap out to my ability to pull arrows out of my body. That was a thing. That's actually a skill if you've got the archery overhaul mod. Let's switch back to the sword. So this is really nice. Even a button that I don't have set up currently because I'm out of those specific potions, but you can set potions to a button. This means no more going in and out of menus all the time. 9 buttons for gear and equipment that half of them you can't even reach. You know, the number key is above your left hand. They're a pain in the ass. I love this mod. Just for the fact that I can hit a button, I can hot swap between my shields, my spells, and then I can hit a fast hotkey to drink my my potions, which is pretty cool. I actually need to reset it back up, though, because I've upgraded my gear recently, and I haven't added them to the list that needs to go in that deal. So, let's go punch a guard in the face. Try not to die jumping off a cliff. Ah. Alcador, I am not... He's talking about Arcage, and he's blaming me. You lied to us about the alpha. No, I did not. Every player in the alpha will tell you the alpha was a freaking blast. And everything we talked about was how the game was in the alpha. And then the beta came around, and if you noticed, I didn't make any videos during the beta because I wasn't playing during the beta. I was waiting for the release. The beta came, and they started to change a few things. Then the actual release came, and the release was a shop that was crap. The sandbox elements were gone. The grinding elements were emphasized. They took away the trading routes and the exploration bits that made the game really fun for a lot of players. They wrecked it on release. You want to be pissed at somebody, be pissed like everybody else and go after Tryon. I also paid for it, too. I bought 2 copies of that game. Wrap your head around that one.
Be careful.
Come here, guard. Let's go. Let's get into a fight. And let's get rid of my left hand. That way I can block. I'm just as pissed as anybody else. I'll rip your heart out. Yeah, you will. You probably actually will. I cranked up the difficulty, so... Now you guys do a lot more damage, and it's even more important that I not suck and I block and not get hit by that arrow, because that bleed's gonna hurt if he hits me with it. Get over here, get over here. I gotta help him go. Stun him, dude. There you go. Let's go into first person. I've got the first person immersive mod installed, so you can actually see my body. Come on, dude. Oh, he's so focused on my... Yeah, you're dead. My companion. It'd be an easy kill. Ah! Oh, my face!
Think you can take me?
My face. I'm also using the Alchemy Overhaul mod. That's a mod that I didn't talk about. Oh, man, that's such a great mod. Alchemy Overhaul basically makes Alchemy a much more interesting experience. It makes it... how do I describe this one? It's got a huge list of features. It makes Alchemy like its legit gameplay style. You can even get grenades and stuff, which are pretty fun. Oh, sweet babies. Yep. Heavy hit from a 2-handed axe just wrecked my day. And I didn't block. I let go with the block button just as the axe came down. That hurt. Hey, fight me. That axe. I'm scared of it. No. Oh, okay. Well, I had enough health to take the first blow. Oh, and I got arrows coming in from behind me. So you're actually going to need your companions with these combat mods installed. Oh, God. Come on. And with the Alchemy Overhaul comes no more instant health. It has to regenerate. So you don't want to wait until it's too late. I'm using a knife in my other hand. I don't normally dual wield, so I kind of don't like having my block because my character is good at blocking. Let's see if I can get away and use my heal spell. I don't probably... Quick heal, which is part of the Ordinator. Nope. I kicked it off just as I got hit in the back of the head. Ugh. So I might bring this down 1 notch for me. I'm apparently crap. But if you're real good at reading enemies and not being surrounded, combat upgrade is why they're surrounding us, then you'll probably be able to dodge better than I am and get, through fights like that. Wah. I want that shield charge. Oh, shit! I'm gonna jump down now.
I'm going to put you down.
Whoop! Oh, my back. My back and my face. Oh, that was my spell. No! Oh, that was almost my face being dead. Yep. No, you don't. And I don't have my shield equipped. Come on, guys. Come on, let's talk about this. Whoa. I don't think so. I'm standing still. Where's my companion? Shit. I really like the TK dodge now will cancel your attack. So, like, if you're doing a heavy and they're coming at you, right? You know you're going to take the hit and you're going to die. You can do your heavy attack and then dodge and cancel it. Make it much more reactive in battle. Now that they've missed, go in for the kill. Oh, shit. Okay, maybe not the kill, because you guys are harder now, because I turned up the difficulty. Ow, my face. He blocked it, but I stunned him, because I got the heavy hit on him. Come on. Come on. Oh, no! Oh, I still have the animation for killing fools. Let's see if I can do that. So, one mod that I didn't talk about is the Violence. This allows you to customize the kill move chance. Just like, oh, what was that old mod that everybody used to use back in the day? You guys will know in the chat. Remind me. I can't remember the name of it now. But anyways, this allows you to customize your kill moves on last enemy, the chance it happens, chance for dragons, which I actually need to come in here and organize this again. And if it'll happen on NPCs, I believe, and what kill moves you get. Stealth kill moves, because I would like to take it off of NPCs using it, and I don't remember how I did it last time. Mixed, customized. Okay, I can actually read it. Why don't I just read the description? Matched. Kill moves triggered by you and NPCs will match the corresponding weapon type. Kill moves triggered by you and NPCs will be a mix of different weapons. Allows you to... Cannot be triggered by you or NPCs. Well, how do I turn off NPCs using it? I'll have to go through and check this out. I do believe there's a way. You can also change the perspective that it uses for this, which is really nice. If you only like first person, if you want to completely keep your character in first person with the first person view mod, you can do that, which is cool. I mean, I like first person. First person view mod is so cool because you can look down and actually see your armor, ride a horse on first person. But it's kind of jarring, especially if you're doing this with a Rift. I have the DK2 for the Oculus Rift, and while testing it with Skyrim, it's really, really irritating, and it kind of makes you queasy a bit if the game pulls you out of first person at any point in the game, because you kind of get in the mindset of being there, and then the game is like, oh, well, you just did a kill move, let's put it in slow motion, and throw your camera 3 feet behind you all at once. Oh, it's not good. It's not good at all. Player kill move immunity. Oh, was that in there? Yeah, if you do get Skyrim, get the Legendary Edition. It's probably on sale. I know it was on sale like last week, I want to say, for real cheap. How this game can be fun. I played this game for 5 months. I hate it and couldn't understand the game as well. I guess it's not everybody's cup of tea. The thing with Elder Scrolls games is that they're an open world where you can make a character. This is where I think a lot of the fun comes from. You can make a character that has a background, he's got pluses and minuses about him, and then play through the story, especially installing new mods to make it feel like a fresh, different game, or have different expansion packs that have been made by the community. There are a bunch of great ones out there. Alcadior, I appreciate that. Yeah, Arcade was a fiasco for everybody involved. It was a lot of money. I was so excited to get in with the community, and me and Tabby were so disappointed. I mean, we had a farmhouse. You guys saw it in the videos. We had like this epic farmhouse. We had our farm set up, and we couldn't wait to do that on the main server, and they wrecked it. They just absolutely wrecked it. Check Steam. I could be wrong. I thought I saw it on sale on Steam. Do you have the High King mod? I don't. I'm still looking at storyline mods on ones I want to install. Right now I'm going through a lot of the vanilla content. Hell of a 60 FPS. It's really crazy. Look at that bottom bar. Yeah, I'm leaving the Fraps FPS on there just so everybody can see it. Everybody can see what it's at, so we're not having any issues. What's a good place to test FPS? One of those areas that just slow everything down. I mean, I know Whiterun is one of them when you first come in, like coming from Riverwood. I want to say this area is too. Like, let's go over to the Deep. The Deep. There's also a dungeon there we can derp around in, and we can look out at the lake. Hey, Pixie Crafting Gaming. Welcome. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on Black Desert as well. Black Desert, if you guys don't know, is a MMO sandbox title that's coming out, being ported over from Korea, that has a lot of unique game mechanics to it. And the thing that you guys know I hate, tab targeting, is nowhere involved. It is actually action combat. So, let's do some Frostfall stuff. We'll build a camp here. We'll hang out. Normally I'd build a camp because it's getting cold, but we'll just do one here because it's raining. Why not? So we're going to create a campfire. Grab that ability real fast. Go into first person. And it's kind of in the water. Probably a poor life choice. Let's do... shit. I picked, like, the worst place to build a camp. I really did. Alright, well, that's the edge of the shore right there. It'll be a little goofy, but it'll work. We can build it... Yeah, we'll put it right here. The ground's just wet from the rain. The actual lake starts about right here, so... Alright, let's use it. I hope I have some wood on me. If I don't, no I don't. We can cut some. This is all the survival camping mod called Frostfall and the mod called Camping. Frostfall means that in the really cold weather in Skyrim, you actually have to dress warm. You can start to freeze, and you can bring your character up to a fireplace or a campfire and warm up. You can also set up tents, do the whole camping like deal in the game, especially if you've got a hunger mod installed where you have to eat and sleep. You're going to want a campfire, and it kind of slows down your game experience. So, let's get some, let's use our skill Harvest Wood. I want to chop some dead wood in the local area. It'll fade to black. You'll hear me chopping wood. I have the GTX 970. I think you could get away with something a bit lower because this is so stable. You could also change out, maybe lower the textures to nothing but maybe 2K textures or just normal game size textures. And use the same packs, but just use the lower quality ones. You probably get away with that and still be able to enjoy the game. If you're looking into modding, right? If you really want to get into Skyrim modding, check out Brodual channel. I can link it in the description. And check out Gopher. Those two guys, fantastic. Okay, so let's go ahead and build the fire. Let's add more fuel to the fire. Let's go ahead and get a tinder in there. We'll use some of my dried out mushrooms, and then we'll use the torch to start the fire. Did it work? Yep, you can actually see my torch rolling away. No, come back. That's fine. We'll add a little bit more kindling so it lasts a little longer. Now let's actually make this fire a little bigger. So we've added more kindling to it. Now we can turn it into a flickering campfire. There we go. And we can cook up some of the steaks I've got on me. Sweet, we're having steak. A little bit more kindling in there. Now we can put more kindling in there. We could replenish the fuel so it'll restart the timer on the fire. Or we could build a crackling campfire, which is a bigger campfire. I don't actually have the dead wood. You need 6 dead wood to make it. So this little one will be just fine for us. What's really neat about Frostfall, outside of just it actually knows what you're wearing clothes-wise and applies a thermal limit to it. So it'll if you're wearing furs, right, versus say a skirt, the furs will keep you warmer and you won't get as cold as fast. It'll also, if I walk up to the fire here, I might not be cold because I'm kind of farther in the south right now, but you'll actually play animations where if you're cold, you'll warm up next to the fire. You'll sit down next to it. And if you're looking for immersion, totally worth it. Okay, so we were going to build a... actually, no, we're not going to build one. We're going to deploy one. Where is my tent? Got a small tent on me. I like the small one because it fits in just about anywhere. We'll put it back here. Not on the mountainside, though. That's a little weird. Actually, you got to go, man. You got to move. I need space. You're in my space. Is that going to work? Actually, that's pretty good. And it's close enough to the fire to warm me up, so... That'll protect us from the rain. It's at a weird angle, because I built this in a very strange place. But you can actually sleep in this. It has a bunch of mechanics to it. We can sit inside the campfire. With the first-person mod installed, you can actually sit in first person, something you can't do normally in Skyrim. And say that's like there, you see my cold is going down on the bar in the top right-hand corner, and then my warmth will start going up because I have a fireplace and a tent nearby. Any weapon mods? Kept it simple. 2 weapon mods are installed for this particular playthrough. I've got the immersive weapons mod, which I absolutely love. And then my favorite mod, it's a single weapon for one-handed swords, the Seeker's Sword from the Sword of Truth. Thanks, pizza. Oh, the quoting. The quoting out of context. It's terrible. Use campfire. Actually, let's back out. Can I get out of this real quick? One of the things that they've added in the most recent Frostfall and camping patch, I think it's the camping patch actually, if you use your campfire, you can actually go to skills now, and they've added a skill tree system to wilderness survival. And this, thank you for the torch, by the way, it's super useful. Yeah, these are actually skill points, just like your normal skill system. You can open up, you know, the constellations. And you can put points into them, and the more you camp, the more you make fires, the more you harvest stuff, the better you will get at doing it. And you notice the 2 bugs floating next to it. These are to change the page to the different skills. There you go. This is like the fire skill, which I put a few points into. So firecraft, I'm not quite there yet. I haven't made enough campfires, but I could put some points into this, which will make me more... I'll be better able to make fires. If we go over again, excuse me, we'll look at the endurance tree. And the endurance tree has some really cool stuff like frost. Exposure increases from frost spells. Attacks is reduced by 50%. This is super useful when I was fighting all those damn ice mages who are shooting ice crystals at me. Ugh, it's such a pain in the ass. And then the little red bug, you hit that one and it'll actually turn off the skill system. So, pretty neat mod, which will change how you play if you want a slower paced game. You can also balance this any way you want. So if you only want to use it occasionally, you can. If you don't want the Frostfall hypothermia style freezing your ass off, you can turn it off. You can also set up a system where, go into the MCM menu, if you get knocked, if you get frozen, instead of just dying like you used to, you can actually be rescued. And you get rescued by somebody. You could be captured. You could be, I don't know, rescued by a fellow traveler. And you may end up in like an inn somewhere or a bar somewhere. You don't know where you're going to go, but it could totally change your character's story and have you end up someplace else. There's even supernatural behaviors for vampires in the cold so you don't freeze to death, which is pretty cool. Are you going to become a werewolf? I don't know. I don't really know. I have the vampire mod installed, which has insane, let's see, vampire... What was that one called? Better Vampires, because the vampire system in the base game is just terrible. I had this installed, and it has some really cool mechanics. It has a skill tree for vampires that is, you can have it based on if you haven't been fed recently, if you haven't eaten a human, drank their blood, you can either get more powerful because you're getting more and more hungry and you're kind of reverting into your natural vampire state, or you can do it the other way that has me interested, and that is the more times you feed, the stronger you get, and you have these like blood points that will unlock new abilities. At the beginning, it's something simple like night vision, so you can hunt your prey, your human prey at night. But later on, it gets more crazy, like the ability to turn your companions into vampires, or to turn your enemies into vampires that have to follow your commands. Like crazy shit like that. Vampiric mind blast and domination, and as you become really a really powerful vampire, and it gives that element of like you're a vampire hunting, trying to gain power. Very different game style, I think, that I'm going for with this character. This character is going to be more paladin-like. I'm not sure yet. I'm really not sure. Sword and board, for sure, is what I'm doing. I think, like, knightly paladin character, I'm probably going to look up some story mods that kind of go along with that. I'm reading the chat real quick. Alexander, welcome to the chat. Greetings from Germany. Hello. Every time I sit here and start thinking about other mods I've got installed, something else comes up. Oh, shit, yeah. Here we go. There's another mod installed, and it's so goofy, but I love it. It's called Art of the Catch. It's a fishing mod. I'm fishing. This one, I think it has something to do with the paid mods fiasco, but now it's totally free, and it's pretty legit. reel in line. It's pretty simple. It's got an animation. You sit there next to a water source, you fish. I didn't catch anything. And I can just keep doing it until I catch a fish. The animation's goofy as hell, though, because look at it. It looks like I'm about to stab the water. That's Skyrim for you. The animations have never been fantastic. That's why a lot of people replace them using the FNIS mod. You feel a tug at the line. Reel it in! Did I catch anything? I caught something. What was it? It didn't tell me. Okay. Other than the fact that I'm drenched. I'm drenched. It makes me colder and more uncomfortable. Let's mount up and fight something. Actually, no, we're at a dungeon. Let's go to the dungeon. Calm your shit. Calm your shit, dude. Convenient Horses has a great little functionality to it. You can practice whistling in front of NPCs, and eventually, when you're talking to them, you can do it. Eventually, you'll learn how to whistle. And that means, Jack. I hit a button, and Jack will find his way over to me, which I'm in this really weird rocky place. It's probably going to be really difficult. You can whistle and he'll run over. It's really useful when you park your horse on one side of town and you find yourself totally full of crap and you can't move. Oh, hey, Jack. There you are. And you can't move and you want to put stuff on your horse and into its inventory. You can use whistle to have him come to you. And then I changed my key binding for it. I can hit in. There's my rucksack on my horse. I've got a bunch of loot in there from a dungeon that we just cleared out not too long ago, which has that crazy helmet from one of the dragon priests. There it is. 2,000 gold. God, I gotta find a vendor with 2 grand on him. Or put it on my shelf. I may put it on my shelf. All right, let's go fight some stuff. But not with a bow. And, oh, I don't have my sword set to a number. Let's do that. Number 2. I wish I brought my shield. Never knew Skyrim had so many mods. That's why I decided to do this just random chat with you guys. Because a lot of people don't realize how many awesome mods the game has. I mean, this is just 80 of my favorites. Let's turn on my lantern, which is a mod. These are just my favorites. They're so... Oh. Oh my. Can we leave? I don't like this plan anymore. If you listen closely, you'll be able to hear the Immersive Dungeons mod. Climates of Tamriel's weather replacements, because it's raining outside. You're probably going to hear a little bit of thunder from the rain outside. Grab my coffee here. Let's go for a little adventure down into this dungeon. What do you got on you? A little bit of gold, a fisherman's journal, Argonian account book 1. Okay, I'll grab that. And a little bit of food. I'm out of carrots anyways. The alchemy mod that I have installed actually revamps cooking as well, and you can gain skills in cooking to give you better long-term benefits from food.
That's impressive.
It is impressive. It's a little scary. This place is like flooding, and it's raining outside. Hello? Hello? I have the HD Ember and Flame rework. So, that's why that probably looks a little different that I didn't mention. So many mods. That's why I'm going to list all these out in the description. Let's go for a walk. Skeleton! Hello! You! I hate ice mages so much. Good thing they can't take a hit. And I finally have a little bit of magic resistance, though not much. That's one of my weaknesses with this character, is I haven't gotten any magic resist. Oh, come on, come on. Waiting for him to swing, block it. There we go. Get that nice little bonus if I block it on time. Pretty easy when there's only one target, though. It's when you get multiples is when you really get screwed. We can go into first person and fight this. It's going to be really dark for you guys. It's not as dark for me. That's the YouTube encoding. Though I do like it dark. Adds a little bit to the challenge. I tried to put the lantern, I turned it up for its radius and its brightness, its luminosity. Ooh, health potions. I'll take those because I haven't made any recently. And a little bit of bread. Let's eat some bread. I probably have massive negative stats right now for not eating recently. Where's that bread? There we go. The bread will give me a little bit of a stamina recharge. Yeah, this place is going to be fairly easy. I mean, skeletons, never been that hard. Though, you gotta be careful with the mages. I mean, the mages will wreck your face. Just res that wolf. Going straight for you. It'd be easier if I didn't miss so damn much. Dodge it. That's why I like playing in third person. Using the dodge mod, just because you can kind of see around you better, and if they get behind you, they can do some nasty damage. Well done. I like one-shotting these guys. It's kind of nice. Couple of soul gems. Come on, let's run through here. Skyrim greater than Fallout 4? Honestly, I'm not going to deny that, because Fallout 4 hasn't had its modding community going for 3 or 4 years now. Now, we're going to look back and be like, damn. Whoa! Hey, come on, let's talk about this. We're going to look back, I think, and be like, damn, look at the mods for Fallout 4 once the tools are out. I mean, that's really where it comes. That's kind of what brought me back into Skyrim, was that I was playing Fallout 4 and I was like, God, you know, the mechanics in this are cool, but I kind of miss just the ability to customize my game. Go to third person. All right, where is that coming from? Oh, she's behind me. Heavy attack, stunner, drop her. There we go. Were you rezzed? Oh, you were rezzed. Zoom in a little bit more so we can see in here. Get her! Or him. Get the elf. Just block for him while he kills it. Missed me. Oh, God. Come on. Can I, like, lower this or something? I'll just run across. No, I can't. I can't. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Oh, I'm freezing. God damn ice mages. See how quickly he can turn around for you? Blat. Mayday, mayday. All right. Let's go back outside. This isn't going to be my save. This save was specifically for this video, because I have one from before I messed up my shield. Oh yeah, just wait till Fallout 4 starts getting its mods. Especially, like the one that I'm waiting for is character rebalance on how your character progresses. One of the things that I don't like is the customization in the character as you go. If you played Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, you had stats that you had to choose between. You had strength and intelligence, endurance, all that. You had the special system, excuse me. Strength, perception, all that jazz, charisma, luck. Well, you don't have that in Fallout as much. Not in the same way that you did, where you had to make choices between them. In this one, you can just keep pouring points into whatever ones you want. So your characters don't really have, let's turn off that light, really have a negative. And I don't know, about 25 hours in, I didn't really feel like I had made a character so much that I wanted to play as I made a character so I could play with game mechanics. I poured points into building my base because I wanted to try out base building, not because I wanted my character to be a political leader. I poured in points into, I don't know, crafting because I wanted to try the modding stuff out in the game where I could mod my weapons. So, I don't know, I'd like to see some type of revamp of that, make it a little bit more in-depth. Like Skyrim, especially with the Ordinator installed, I'm shaping my character, really shaping him with the perks that I choose. I mean, look at this compared, look at how many perks that we've got in here compared to Fallout 4. And a lot of this is modded in, mind you. And I know modders are going to be like, easy, we got this. And they're going to make insane rebalances for Fallout 4, especially in the way that I like to play, in a very hardcore way. You know it's going to happen. I love a perk system in 4 because you can't just master lockpicking from the start. Yeah, true. You can't just master lockpicking from the start. I mean, you couldn't really in Fallout 3 unless you poured all your points into it and nerfed your character in every other way. Let's roll out. I'm just really excited about the type of mods that we're going to get. I mean, just look at Skyrim. If there's a way you want to play, either it's super hardcore combat-wise or super immersive, you know, never using the wait button, never using fast travel. You never use your map. You actually have a drawn map in your hand to figure out where you're at, and you want those quests to describe to you, you know, where the objectives are. Where the heck am I going? I'm gonna jump off a cliff with my horse. It's gonna be terrible. You can do that. Like, there's all kinds of ways you can balance the game and change it the way you want to play it. And the fact that we could mod it beyond what most computers are capable of now, I think this is one of those boat fast travel points, or maybe just a fisherman. You can do that. Let's wait again. I keep forgetting YouTube is a lot darker, and you guys are probably having trouble seeing anything. Cool. That's like a foggy morning. I dig that. I don't know how this looks on the stream. Hopefully it looks pretty good, because it looks great on mine.
Traveler.
What? What do you want? Did you kill this man? You want to talk about it? Oh, it's a trap! It's a trap! And I'm gonna fucking gut you guys. Come here. So, let's try out that horse combat. Ram him! Black! And I killed him too. I have the horse set up that if you kill anything on it, you can instantly open up its inventory and loot it, so you have to get off. Jesus! Seriously, guys? Let me hit him! There he goes. These guys were easy. Oh, I did reload it, so it's probably on the lower difficulty setting when we were messing about. So we probably kick that up. It'll multiply their health and the damage they do by a bit. Maybe one level would probably be good. It'll take 3 or 4 hits to kill them, and probably 3 or 4 hits to kill me from them. Wood Elf Archer. Oh, you guys are talking about character classes? Like, I'm thinking about, because they got the profile system now on Nexus, right? I'm thinking about doing multiple characters, because there's the mod Familiar Faces, which allows you to have a shrine to each one of your characters in your other saves in one game, and then import those characters as people walking around the world. Familiar Faces, check that one out. Brodual did a great video on it. So another character I want to make, I think, is maybe like a Gandalf old school wizard with the Ordinator magic rebalance and perk tree. I think would be really cool. And then to have him walking around the map, you know, using the profile system in Nexus Mod Manager, I can have my own set of, oh, hi, how you doing? My own set of mods just for that. The question is, which ones would I install? What magic mods? Okay, we gotta turn that. We gotta turn that up. They're not living long enough. Whoops. Settings. What's it turned to? It's turned all the way down to Adept, yeah. Oh, it is on Adept. All right, let's go to Expert. I'm gonna regret life in a second. What's your favorite sci-fi ship? That's a random question. And that changes depending on my mood. I don't know. Maybe Defiant for Star Trek? Serenity in general? Hello, Wolf. Let's fight him in first person. Unless we just killed him. We just killed him. I find mounted combat, you do a little bit more damage with your swings, so I haven't seen any stats for that. And there is a little bit of like a freeze up when you go to loot them, which has something to do with the mounted combat script, because it doesn't happen in anything else. Let us ride. First person model lets you ride in first person. And even lean down when you're doing your swings, which is cool. Wah. Another mod that I want to try out, but you have to start a new game for, is the actual, what is it? Skyrim Civil War. And it brings all the mechanics that Bethesda wanted to do in Skyrim kind of back. He designed it based on what code they had already put in, because the Civil War in Skyrim was supposed to be epic. It was supposed to be this big radial system where you could really lose the war. It could go back and forth. You had different missions you could do to make it harder or easier on you to take a... Eat it, Skeever. To take out a city. I don't want to loot it. You could... It's just a big system. A really big, cool system that was just gutted in lieu of the... You can't lose the Civil War in those battles if you try. It's not in the game code to lose those battles. What am I doing? I'm equipping my bow. So what he does is he makes it so not only can you lose it, it's really hard. And the fights aren't always balanced. And I'm really looking forward to that. You can lose the Civil War. Like, that sounds epic. Especially with the combat mods installed. So, but you have to start a new game. That's going to be a much different character. I'm thinking something like a Hunter Ranger for that one. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go fight a giant. I've seen From the Depths. I just haven't had the time to try it. It looks incredibly complex. Ah! He's coming at me. I think I just shot my ally. Whoop! Nope, 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 nope. I didn't do anything to him. My archery sucks. I haven't really been working on it, though. Is that a... God, we got a tiger here. We got a saber cat. A giant. Look out! Oh, we killed the mammoth. I think the saber cat killed the mammoth. You want to talk about it, dude? This bow isn't crazy enchanted. Let's pull out my sword. See if we got this. I hit him with the horse. How long do you think it would have taken if all the mods were put into the game? You mean from, like, the release? Oh, they would have taken forever. It would have been like another extra year. Remember how many people worked on all these individual mods to get this to be a thing? And they were too busy building a game that was stable enough to handle this kind of mechanic of having a modular mod system that will load in successive order. Not a lot of games do that. Eat it. Actually, I can only think of a handful of games that aren't made by Bethesda that have a system like that. Hey, Alec. Welcome to the stream. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up the stream. It was a good time. This is what I've been doing in my free time. Been playing some Skyrim, having a good time with it. I do plan on doing more Space Engineers content, and we will be streaming it Thursday. Saturday is always the Space Engineers RP group series, and then the occasional random Space Engineers video going on the channel. Also, I'm planning a Empire at War Awakening of the Rebellion playthrough. Get off my horse. It's going to be starting soon on the channel, so keep your eyes out for that. All kinds of good things are coming. Yeah, and then, of course, XCOM when it comes out. We've got a little time, though. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button for me right now, everybody watching. That does me a great favor, and I will see you guys in the next stream. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, I do not use... Somebody just asked. I do not use Mod Organizer. I use Nexus Mod Manager. I am going to do more Interregnum. I'm trying to get a big game going with a bunch of people. Expect a Homeworld mod tomorrow, though. A giant's toe is gross, and you can make potions with it. It's actually one of the best health ingredients that I've found so far. Don't knock on my giant toe health potions. They're delicious. Yeah, it was kind of a goofy stream today. Just a little weird, but I thought I'd share some of these mods for anybody who, since I'm not a normal Skyrim channel like Brodual or Gopher, I figured it'd be nice to, you know, show off mods to an audience that don't normally see Skyrim mods. Later, guys. My dude looks so cool.